What's the name of these niggas that are fighting?
So today we're gonna review Biggie versus Pac.
No, what's the name?
And
Drake and Kendrick, child. Even that, we did a bunch. There was a bunch of bloopers, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna put that in the beginning. Anyway, whatever. What are we doing today?
all right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the red table talk, the clear table talk.
The clear table talk.
Okay, no, but seriously, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode.
That's in the intro shit. I'm sorry. I thought we were intro already. Okay.
I said, what now? The dryer doing the final spin.
Okay.
All right. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of The Real Villain. I was still gonna say horrible decision. I have an issue. I listened to that.
That's all she's thinking about. So what you got to tell the people about some recent decisions?
Anyways, okay. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of The Real Villain with Emmy and
Nikki.
Today we're reviewing Good Times, which is a remake in a way. It's an
animated remake.
An animated,
a classic Black TV show, Good Times. Y'all know the classic Good Times.
It was a funny watch.
With John Amos. Listen, we're gonna review it, but a lot of people, I felt after watching, because I always run to the Twitters after I watch a show, especially
not
during, because you know what binging did that I cannot go to Twitter while I'm watching a show because I'm gonna get spoilers because everybody's watched all the episodes and they're not on the same episode as me. Whereas back in the day, you could be like, everybody's watching Scandal tonight and we're all live tweeting, so we're all getting our thoughts off because it's airing now and we're watching it now. But now y'all are all ahead of me, so I'm not gonna go on there and get spoilers. She don't care about spoilers, so
that's what I was gonna say, because I be on Twitter as I'm watching. So
simple.
Not for this specific show, but usually
me, I'm not doing that because then y'all gonna tell me what's happening, and why am I watching? Anyways, we're not gonna get to the spoilers conversation, but yeah. So I found out on Twitter that y'all, if I like this show, I'm a boon.
Ooh, wow.
I'm just gonna.
They said all of this.
They said that. They're like, if you laughed at this show, you're.
No, they were funny. Hey, they were funny things.
Like, this kind of.
Some of these things. There's a dolphin man. Like, I mean, what? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I mean, was it stereotypical?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Was it played on certain prejudices and racist beliefs about Black folks? Sure. But I just want to say this, and I've said it before, like, is it possible for us to watch things just to watch, just freely, without think pieces and without agendas? And I know we're literally wired right now to think everything has an agenda, but I'm tired of it. Like, really, sometimes I just want to enjoy something. I was like, whoa, now I can't enjoy this thing no more. It was bad to enjoy this. Okay, like, damn, like, I'm sorry. And maybe I'm not funny. Because I saw somebody say, if you like that type of comedy, you're not funny.
But let's be honest, it wasn't crazy funny.
It was
I could watch it. You know what I mean? Because I do remember watching the first 3 episodes, and I was just like, I watched the first 3 episodes, and I was talking to Nikki, like, okay, like, maybe let's review this. And then I waited a couple of days before I got back into watching it. Not because it wasn't good, just because it didn't really... You know what I mean? It's not like, oh my god, I have to watch it. It's so good. Like, I want to watch the rest. Like, Big Mouth.
It was watchable. It was...
Big Mouth. Big Mouth, when I actually started the show, I was like, oh my god, I need...
No, you know why I said that? Because for the longest... And y'all have, probably seen our Baby Reindeer review at this point. But it's just like, for the longest time, I was trying to figure out what... Because I was like, man, I'm like, Cottonmouth is a real show. And it was like... Because I kept Googling and nothing is coming up for Cottonmouth other than Baby Reindeer. I'm like, I know this show is a real show. And I'm guessing it's a riff off of Big Mouth.
Is Big Mouth a Brit?
I have no idea. I made a connect. I digress. I know that was...
It's fine. Listen.
It just came to my mouth. Anyways.
So yeah, pretty much, I guess let's get into it. So it's a family in Chicago, a Black family in Chicago.
And they're po. They is po folks.
Listen, the dad is a taxi driver.
That don't make no money.
That don't make money.
Because all the writers don't pay him.
Listen. So that is a taxi driver. The mom is a...
What is she? Stay-at-home mom?
No, she. I don't know what she
Well,
does.
eventually, again, we're not gonna do episode by episode, but
Listen, no, but like,
eventually she becomes the building superintendent.
yeah,
So that was
eventually, the
interesting.
way she becomes it is hilarious. I
Man,
mean, hilarious and not really, but hilarious.
I also want to
Um,
shout out Tisha Campbell for I almost said Tisha Campbell Martin, but she does voice that man. Um, for her portrayal of okay, so I didn't light my incense. That's the problem. Yeah, so shout out to Tisha Campbell because she played the superintendent prior to her death, basically. Uh, I didn't think she was gonna be. I knew she was gonna be on the series because I follow her, and I didn't know that I didn't know what to expect in terms of voice acting. I was like, am I just gonna hear Tisha Campbell? But she did a really good job. Like I thought that old lady that she played was funny as hell. In my opinion, maybe y'all didn't like it, but I thought it was funny to me. Now,
so we said the dad is a taxi driver, the mom is, we forgot what she does.
the
The
baby's a
dog,
drug
the
dealer.
baby's a drug dealer, and
That's some people have some issues with that.
listen, it was insane. It was insane, but nobody said that it was insane when in Family Guy the baby would
Wanted to
literally
kill his
wanted to
mother.
kill his mother and the whole world with it.
I mean, I
Literally an
didn't think
evil
I think
genius.
they did say it was insane, which is why they toned
But I
Stewie down so much.
I'm so sad. I was so sad when they toned him down because I was
I
like,
wasn't. I
loved
was
it.
so uncomfortable with it. I was like, wait, okay.
But that's also the point of cartoons
Cartoons
is not real
it's
life,
not
and
real life, yes.
that's also like exploring different avenues and different things. So
Yeah.
I felt a way for like a little bit about the baby because I was like, that's too that you're doing too much. Like the baby's a drug dealer, really, like being carried by a nanny that gives him like, come on, it's like really this is doing too much. But then it's
It
a
was still
cartoon,
kind of
so
funny.
whatever.
But do you feel like it's weird that is it getting a little bit of a tangent? But in a lot of these adult animated series, they just like play around with like norms, like they'll make incest jokes or like like I just watched an episode of Family Guy where Brian and Stewie kiss and like it's just like so the baby's making out with his dog and or like
Yeah,
you're
but like
marrying your sister like
yeah, but it's because
what
it's a universe where things don't exist for me. So
I
it's like
guess it's like I just have to
I mean the dog speaks, you know.
yes and
And
it's
he has his own life. I think he had a daughter or something at some point, or
he has a son,
he had
yeah,
a
he has
son or
son.
something. Like yeah, listen.
So it's like I had to just accept that this baby was like able to speak, sell drugs,
Yeah,
operate a gun, new
100%,
hitters,
and still be afraid of being by himself
right?
because he's still
And
a
still be a
baby.
baby. I was like, okay,
So the
so
baby, I guess the baby's a drug dealer. The daughter is like stereotypical.
free the
Power to the
whales, not
people.
free the whales, yes, power
Like
to the people,
power to
yeah.
the people. We need to free our minds, free our bodies. We need to eat good food like
She's
that.
woke. She's woke. Woke.
She's beyond like
She's beyond woke.
I think she's beyond woke. So there's that, and then the son is like stereotypical.
He's a dumb kid. He's the guy who
But he's an artist too.
he's
At the
a
same
he's a
time,
creative,
he's a
but he's
creative.
not super. I mean, I should say. Well, they do make him also dumb. Like he makes dumb
He makes
decisions,
dumb decisions.
but he's also not very book smart. And he's a little slow, but he has
He's
is it
very
ADHD
artistic.
or is or,
Yeah,
he
I
has
believe he has ADHD or something. Yeah, because there's an episode where the sister throws the meds in the toilets, which is why.
listen.
But then again,
so we
good illustrations of like black people.
yeah. So we see
Certain
that
black
this is a
people.
family that like they they have the stereotypical like dad is kind of like a doofus type thing. Mom kind of really is the one that knows what's going on. Um, and then we also like go through themes of like, excuse me, they hit on getting baptized and what does in the hypocrisy of the
Yeah.
Christian church. At one point, Dalvin, who's the baby's name, calls out all these people in the church, which was a funny scene. Um, literally told them like y'all are hypocrites. Like you don't like, and I think that the juxtaposition of having a drug dealing baby telling them that was like
It's just so funny.
it,
Like I mean,
the father and Dalvin don't get along, which yeah, it's so weird for me to because I'm like this is a baby, So how long has he been out of the house?
First of all, he's been out of the house, and the dad was like, "You need to leave my house," and
Yes.
Dalvin was like, "Fine." And
Fine.
he moved upstairs.
Right,
He got moved upstairs,
and he's always trying to get his mom to like defend him in the stuff, and it's like, but the father doesn't like the fact that Dalvin sells drugs. He acts like he don't have that son. That's
That's not his son. We
whatever.
don't recognize that son.
We don't recognize him. And like we said, Junior is an artist, and he's always painting, but he's not able to focus at school, so they prescribe him some drugs and stuff like that, which is an interesting topic that they address because it ends up helping him focus. He becomes super smart. His sister gets super jealous because when you're used to being that kid that gets all the praises, and I speak of it from experience, when you sometimes you have to learn how to share that spotlight because it's like, oh, somebody else is getting the attention. And she dealt with it horribly by
throwing the meds in the toilet,
flushing them, which is insane. I was like, and did he even ever find out that she did that?
I think at the end, because pretty much what happens because of that. I mean, it's a cartoon, so it was that was a wild thing, but kind of fun. So his inability to focus, I think his anxiety
comes back
as an actual monster and kidnaps the sister and threatens to kill her. Pretty much.
I call it Crackhead Junior. Was that what it was called? I don't know. That's what it's in my notes.
Listen, it was.
Well,
it was funny to me. I was just like,
it was an interesting theme because we don't
okay.
often talk about black kids with neurodivergence.
Facts. I'm starting to see a bit more of them on like TikTok, and people are trying to like the parents are trying to like shed light, and even in the show what's it called? Love on the Spectrum. There's this black girl. I think she's autistic, and she's dating. So there's more people like shedding light on neurodivergence, and outside of that, just how maybe black families deal with having a child that needs to take some medications for certain things. But yeah, like the reaction was very interesting to me.
His parents seem to be happy about it. It's just him, it seemed to take, and that's another conversation on meds too. Like it seemed to like make him less creative. Yeah, there's debates on that, right? Like, but hey,
and then
at least they brought up that conversation.
True. I think while all of this is happening, that's when we start seeing the mom. So the mom has a best friend. The best friend is a hairdresser. And as all of this happening, the mom, there's this thing about where they live, and I think there's a contest. There's a beauty contest, something. Is it a beauty contest? There's a contest that she's trying to win, or she's trying to get elected for.
Oh yeah, she's trying to
and
I don't even remember exactly. That's not great, guys.
It's the beginning of it, and she's trying to get there, but with everything happening with the baby, because the baby gets kidnapped, with a lot of things happening, the daughter was on a hunger strike. She's like, we need to eat better food and stuff like that. So with all of that, basically, the family is not able to come together to support her in whatever she was trying to do.
They were all not focused on her.
And I feel like, in a way, that's kind of like setting the tone for what she's going to do later in the show. At least for me. That's how I
For sure. I agree with that. Also, there was a weird thing with the father and the dog. I didn't get that. Like, I didn't get, like, what were you trying to say there?
You know how a lot of black people don't do, at least my dad isn't. We don't do animals.
Yeah, I know a lot of black people don't do animals,
dogs.
but he brought the dog home, and
I think that was
the dog gets jealous of the wife. I was like, what is happening here?
Isn't it the reverse? What happened?
No. The dog didn't want he started spending so much time with the dog, and the wife's like, no, I gotta get my man back. And the dog was like,
because the dog was helping him stay calm.
Yeah. Like a support.
Yeah, she did do some. Hey, they did do something in that bedroom in front of the dog. The dog had to leave. The dog left.
Well, I mean, the dog. You shouldn't have been there. This is what grown people do.
I mean, but she's the one that said. He was like, let's keep the door outside, and she was like, no. She was like, no. Let's.
I think her friend said it. So her friend's like, you need to assert dominance. So you have to show.
Also, that is insane.
I was like, to a dog.
That is insane. Okay. That is really.
I don't know. Maybe listen. I don't know. Y'all do animal lovers. But then they also experience, again, I commend them for attacking themes that I don't really see. They attacked a young girl getting her period, and the femininity of
I
and what
liked
it means to be
that.
a woman.
I
And
like
a
that.
lot of people online didn't like that. They said, "What is this? This is so like this is contrived. It feels forced." I'm like, oh,
No, I feel like I'm
I like
okay,
it.
so I'm 30. I have people that I know that weren't really told about their periods, and people actually freaked out when that happened. Um, Now a lot more people are comfortable telling their children, but there's still people that are not like telling young girls that this is gonna happen to them. Can you imagine, like, you don't know about it and it just kind of happens to you? I like that there's things like this that obviously this is a cartoon and this is very like they did it in a very extra way, but the reality is I think it's nice that we and important that we talk about these things and make it a point that it is something that's normal and not just a concern of like little girls, but that it should just be normalized in society. It's
Yeah,
not bad to have your periods, and it
exactly.
shouldn't be. You shouldn't be ashamed. Like the amount of people I know that had to do the walk of shame because you had a little bit of blood on your pants, and like some people don't even
Right.
tell you. They would let you walk like that. It's like
No, they
it's some
showed
of
that
the
in
thing.
the school. Like
You know
they
what I
thought they were
mean?
acting like she had a disease or a curse. Them kids was rude. I was like, excuse me.
But also, let's be honest, it really be like that. If like, and I also always hated the people that don't tell you or others that they have blood on. Because I will
I
go and
will
be
tell
like,
you.
yo, you
But it was
listen.
so awkward.
So
I just remember that. I was like, I can't believe we lived through that. Like, think about it. I was like, really? Like, now I know how to prevent that from happening. But
yeah.
as a kid, you're like, bro, like, what? And my mom, no. My mom was like, oh Lord, you have
Oh,
your period. No. It
oh,
was like the end of the world. It was like,
really?
yes,
Oh
because
man.
in my family, when a girl gets her period, it's like D-Day. It's like, oh Lord Jesus Christ, like this is terrible because they act like it's a dangerous thing. Like now you can be touched, and it's like, and
Wow,
something can happen.
that
It's
is
like,
so
it's
interesting.
so like, and
That
like I
is.
remember like talking about my little niece recently. My mom
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Oh no, so and so is gonna be 9. Oh my God, her mom, elle est formée à 9 ans. Like I hope that she doesn't do it at 9 too, because that's too young."
Whoa,
I was like, um,
that's a lot.
I'm like, it's like they just associated with you can now. It's unfortunate, but you can now be hurt. You can now don't let a
Hmm.
grown man touch you.
That is
And it has
okay.
happened way too many times. More in
Unfortunately.
Haiti, where like, and in many countries where a young girl is impregnated, and if she's already had her period, then yes, she can have a child.
That is really sad.
It is, but yeah,
But I
it's
mean,
always been
also,
like a devastation in
but
my
I'm also
family.
I'm sorry that this is because this shouldn't
It
be
shouldn't.
a
No, for sure,
devastation. It's just a fact of life, and
for
like
sure.
yeah, I just it's just comparing it to like hearing you say this and like comparing it to my experience, which it just kind of happened. My mom had already told me that it was gonna happen. It just happened a day where I wasn't trying to have that happen because I was in the middle of like I was playing tennis and it was an intensive 2 weeks of tennis
Mm.
and it happened. I was like, nope, I'm gonna deal with this later. I don't feel like stopping my day for this.
Yeah, yeah.
And like just told my mom and she came and she even got me a gift and she just explained
Oh
how it
wow,
was done back in the days and how now we have like, the protections that we can use.
that's so
And
dope.
then it was just a moment. But it's just anyways, so I'm sorry this happened. But
No, it's okay.
also
My mom told me what to do. She just looked just so downtrodden the whole time. I just remember I was like, damn, what's gonna happen?
but see, but that's one of the things. That's why I feel like this. I mean, maybe not necessarily particularly this specific show, but at least this
But it was a good.
episode,
It was a good
I
show because
liked
of
how they
how the
highlight.
beauty of it. They even put it like it's ooh,
Yeah.
instead of it being a nasty thing,
Yeah.
a thing to hide a shameful thing. It was like a magical land. Look what your body can
Yep.
do. It was taking
And
the shame
she
away.
seemed so proud after it. She
Yeah,
seemed so proud, and I was very happy to see her walk with pride and not with,
yeah. I love
especially the
that
whole
they talked about the sweets was the G spot and like
the whole
I love the
travel she did
metaphor.
with her mom. At some point, was that
Yeah.
that episode?
Yes, 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 yes.
The travel
Through
through
womanhood or
yeah through womanhood. It was very interesting.
it was very nice.
It was
I
nice.
really liked it. I like when
Yeah.
shows take a little like they do a different sort of episode.
Yeah, it was a cool little spotlight.
And she was yeah, she was very supportive. I put she was supportive and a great mother mostly. There must have been something that she said that made me look at her the wrong way. I don't remember what it was. I didn't write
Yeah,
it
because
down.
she was just trying to like tell her what to do too much.
Could have been
And
that.
she was like,
She was
just
too
trust her. Because
controlling.
at some point they were like, just trust her. And while this is happening, Junior, which we said is an artist, his paintings are taking up. Like people seem to like his painting,
Hmm, hmm.
like
His dad was doing some scammy.
Yeah, his dad was like, "Oh, people like his fingers. So we could sell them. Pretend that you're dead."
See, I didn't like that stereotype.
Oh my
I didn't
God, that
like the
was
fact that
horrible.
like we always have to. Okay.
Literally, the basket. I feel like they tried. For me, I was like, "Oh, Basquiat, this
Yeah.
wow."
Yeah, I didn't love that one. I was just like, okay, like of course he's gonna try to do something illegal. He's gonna scam. It's gonna.
But even outside of the scamming, even the girl that comes in and this white girl comes in and she's like, "Oh my God, this is where he lived. It's even worse than I thought." And I was like, "Wow." And she's like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be worth so much more if he's dead." And I was like,
And it's the truth.
I mean, yeah, but like,
But it was like,
it's the
wow.
way she was living into these people's apartment, and she was like looking at it as if she was looking at like some kind of document. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh my God, I mean, like, I'm in such a dangerous neighborhood.
But they let me not see. Let me not get on the soapbox. But no, I'm not doing that in this video. But like, yeah. So then we get into other. Listen, they really went in on some of these big billionaires and capitalists owners here with an episode very much focused on Elon Musk. And the concept is like their house is underwater. There's people behind on rent or whatever, and the dad is like not trying to take help from people, and then but he's praying to Black Jesus, and Black Jesus trying to be funny.
Black Jesus was trying to watch some good with whatever angel was next to him.
He's like, listen, set him, okay, this guy. So, and then Black Jesus says Elon Musk into his taxi. And for some reason, him and Elon start to talking, and then Elon gives him a job. As the driver. And then he invites him over for dinner and hires the whole family in random roles that made no sense.
Except the baby, obviously, because the baby don't live with them, right?
The baby didn't go. The baby
wasn't there.
Dalvin.
The baby was hustling. It was in the
Dalvin was looking for some shelter, bro. Like he was like out there looking, and then he didn't even know that they weren't home. Dalvin is he's in these streets. What do you mean? With his freaking but he can't survive if somebody doesn't give him milk.
That's the funniest thing. Like he's literally selling drugs from his high chair, and it just killed me. Okay, is he just being like
so cute? Little baby so cute. I just wanted to just pinch his cheek. But yeah, so like I thought it brought up themes of how people use this for their gain, and like literally he was like taking like creative parts from them and like seeing how he's gonna exploit it, and I was just like,
yeah, he was like
just how he ruined Black Twitter. I'm just kidding.
Listen,
I mean he did ruin Twitter.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was very like, I'm gonna use you. I think it was like you have the DNA or you have something that you resist. It was the resistance gene. It was like you're resistant so much.
And of course, the person who was against it, or who had resistance at least, was Gray. But then of course she gets Gray's the daughter, and then she gets like into it as well. But eventually,
she got a little, what was it? It was a cloud?
Yes.
A little intelligent cloud that started speaking to her in some woke things, and
everybody was like losing it, and like they're like they don't even need Reggie no more, like they even really need him. So he was like, yo, he quits, and they try to basically they can't quit. And the Justice League of white people,
Transformers. Something happened.
The Avengers of of freaking
Elon Musk,
white tech billionaires, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, are. Sorry, this was funny. I don't know.
Funny, and they were arguing about who is the richest because they always so listen, like it's just
they told these niggas we found y'all that you have a specific gene. Your family has a struggle gene. This is an Easter egg to the originals because that in original Good Times the family struggled a lot. They're like, y'all have the struggle gene. You could survive through anything, and we want to foster that. So we're gonna send y'all to Mars because we need people like that
on Mars.
This is wild. I can't believe they just wrote that. I was like, funny. and obviously the family was like, no. So they're trying to escape. And they end up escaping
because Delvin was like, my mom was in danger after the dad quit.
And honestly, like
Delvin pulled up with all the guns.
He's literally like
Hey.
he's the hero.
He is the
Like,
savior.
you know what I mean?
He's the savior
Talking
of
about
this
villains, he's the hero.
moment. Oh, God.
And then okay, the building that they live in is falling apart in general. Like it's terrible. Delphine, who's the like building manager, she's like horrible. Only cares about getting their rent. Yeah, and she don't really do anything. It's falling apart. They literally like the hot water will stop running, and Bev has to go through freaking
Indiana Jones stuff, okay? Like the jungle and like
go through the sky. She
It's-
I was like, what?
she's going on like a. It's a hair. It's a hair. It's made out of hair extensions.
Oh shit!
What's it called?
Rope?
Like some kind of rope to go up, but it's made out of hair extension. And I was just
I was like, what is happening? I was like,
Oh
what?
my God.
And then like all that, and the water fell. I was so pissed for her because like she did all that and still had nothing.
And he fell on the neighbor too, burned his face.
Down, and also they got rats the size of horses. I was like, ew. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. Which city are they in? Is it New York?
Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. And okay.
Yeah, because I see rats is giving New York. That's why.
That's why I was like, yeah, but no, it didn't
No
really
shade
feel
to
like
New
New
Yorkers,
York.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, so like because of this, you know, like Bev is like, yo, I'm gonna run to help change things, you know, like
Yeah.
this is like, and Delphine, she's like trying to sabotage her. Um, Dalvin always knows everything. This baby is like you know, a psychic, and
he just connected.
he's connect.
He got ears and eyes everywhere.
He got,
Remember the owl? Remember the owl? He literally has ears and
literally
eyes everywhere.
So he ensures that his mama
It's gonna win.
is gonna be safe. And Delphine, listen,
Not Delphine died.
Delphine had to you know she had to kick the bucket.
But the way Delphine died, it's like
Was she got eaten
she literally got eaten by the rats.
because but Dalvin set her up like he
Yeah, he said the owl
yeah
to
he
her.
said the owl yes okay yeah.
So you need to understand the owl just watches.
And of course,
The
she
neighborhood.
hadn't actually won, but because Delphine died, and I think Delphine set it up too, because like, how were they voting for her? But maybe because she was bribing them with donuts and shit.
Yeah, Delphine was doing block parties with like a lot of rap music. She was making sure that there are donuts everywhere. Like she was good. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So she ends up being the winner, and
that brings that is gonna bring problems
Mhm.
in the long run because she really has a good heart and she really wants to make
she
changes.
wants to help. But
She wants to help this neighborhood and this.
but what was her name? Allison Whiteman. All. So when we meet Allison Whiteman, she says it says all white men. So like Al. So obviously this is a euphemism, whatever. Um, this is a person that's gonna like really interfere with her new role because she's trying to do good things, and we know that there's a lot of white people that don't want good things for the black community.
Facts.
They want to keep them in a certain way. So you know,
No, this is reminding me of this other cartoon that's also on Netflix, and it's about a secret organization that actually runs the government. And this what was it reminded me of when she was just like it's given like evil like villain in their lair trying to plan on how they are going to like make sure the black people reach their demise. Pretty much that's what it was giving.
and that's what it was giving. Literally, she's okay. Yeah, Gray's protesting for peace. Okay, I don't remember that.
She's always protesting. I feel
She's
like
always protesting for something. Okay, and there was something like because they were in a heat wave, so everybody was acting wild at some point. Not Gary. Reggie decided to run away from the police, which is always stupid. Never go on a chase with the police. And then it seemed like actually Bev was getting true to people until that white woman came and put the kibosh on everything. And they said they're like the system wants the crime, so we're gonna keep that. It actually reminds me of like a lot of the premise of Snowfall and how Franklin gets caught up in a lot of these situations, but that are orchestrated by the system, which one day we'll talk about whenever she watches it.
I'd love to be on the spot about these shows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Every time.
I'm sorry.
I mean, don't be sorry. It's fine. But every time. I'll watch it when I have time.
I mean, she's not gonna watch it. Was there anything else you want to talk about that episode? Because I could.
I feel like I don't remember. I don't remember exactly specifically per episodes, but pretty much there's always a main focus. But like starting from now, like the overall arc for at least Bev is that she's going to spend time developing, she wants to spend time developing this neighborhood.
Mhm.
But as that happens, what happens is that they turn her into Big Brother.
Yeah, because Mayor Heavy Ankles also works for Mayor Heavy Ankles. Yeah, you heard me. That's
Listen.
the name of the show. That's not just my notes.
She literally turns into who
Because they're
she
working.
wanted to be against.
Yeah, and that's
So
another one bites the dust.
listen. So is this what it is?
Black Love Day.
Black Love
What?
Day.
I had never heard of that. I don't know if that's a real
They
thing.
probably just made it for the show.
Like if that's like a alternative
To what?
Valentine's Day or something. I don't know, but it was so funny because Junior was catfishing.
It was
Trying to protect.
it was catfishing. No, actually, it's because of, first of all, I would like to say that the baby is evil because when he said, "Hey, I'm talking to, I want to talk to this guy. I want to be on the apps,"
He's like, no,
and he's
you're
like, no,
totally-
we need some kind of filter, and the filter he puts on, it's not even a filter. That's a whole
It was just
other
another
person.
person.
It's a whole other person.
And Gray ends up liking someone that is literally a gangster. Literally has killed people.
Yeah,
and then
she
was
floating.
literally like, I was
She's
like,
like,
damn, finally, like Gray is doing something other than
protesting.
you know. I was like, okay, but they don't even. His voice was like, who was he? Like I know it was a rapper or some. Was it Quavo? I recognized
I don't
the
know,
voice.
but like they literally met as he stole a candy bar or something from a we call it a dep here. What's the name in the US?
Corner store.
A corner store.
Or they would call it a bodega.
Yeah, it's, so he steals a candy bar and she's like, oh my god. I don't know what he says to her. He splits the candy bar with her or something, and she's like, oh my god. Which I'm so happy that they didn't make her ride or die in this episode because pretty much they go on like a wild chase with the with the police. She's like, I'm not doing this. She's like, I can't do this, and he's like, yeah. He's basically saying like, yeah, you have to go like pretty much you have to fall for me, and she's just like, nope. Very glad we put that somewhere because more people need to see this.
Yeah, because you don't
Nobody
really
needs to
have
die.
to. You don't have
could
to
ride.
stay in a struggle.
You could ride. You don't have to die. You could ride, and then just like she did, she just
Yeah, that was the voice. It was Little Meech. Little Meech from BMF played her one day boyfriend. So
yeah. At least she felt some. She felt some.
a little song, you know.
She
Who
felt-
who is Ben? Ben spent all the money. I need to take better notes, guys. I don't know.
Listen, we take notes with our feelings and the feelings that we feel when we watch the episode.
But I love it because I literally have Ben spent all the money, then do overall thoughts. Like I was gonna remember what the hell I was thinking. Sure.
Listen, that's how it is. And then sometimes it be happening. Sometimes I'm like, oh, true. I was thinking this at the moment I wrote this notes. So also, I'm looking at her notes because I don't have notes on this one, but I kind of just going by.
This episode was weird. I did not get it.
Oh, this
one
okay, so we get to an episode where they go into a superhero theme. So instead of doing the whole like I was bit by a spider, then I'm Spider-Man, it was I was
bit by a chicken.
Bit by a chicken. Therefore I'm what was the name? Chicken no.
Chicken Man? Chicken
No,
Man?
it wasn't Chicken Man. It was the name was insane, y'all.
It was a dumb name.
But and it actually can like
become a chicken.
Can lay eggs.
You don't eggs.
No, you don't remember he was throwing eggs.
Oh,
the eggs
that
were
his
like
weapon?
projectiles. Like
That's
he could
hilarious.
project eggs. And so this is the episode where basically
they're making a point on genetically modified food here. It was a clear point of they're changing us literally by the food that we eat, which again was a good theme.
I mean, yeah,
and a good thing to. But the episode for me.
The episode for me was really giving like we're going into superhero territory and it's gonna be fun because
did you love it?
It was fun.
Okay.
I did not like the fact that it was a chicken because it's weird, but I mean, who am I to choose?
And it was so stereotypical. Like, of course, the chicken.
But it's outside of that. It's really the fact that I like that they chose this episode to do it because so Bev is now like Nikki said the superintendent of the building. There's cameras that have been installed, so they're gentrifying but slowly. You know what I mean? Like it's very like they're telling her all these things like, oh, we're gonna name. You see, this is what gonna be the new building. We're gonna name it after you. We're gonna do this. They're promising her a lot of things and telling her that it's gonna be for the benefits of the residents. But we all know that it's not the truth. And so pretty much, so Gray goes to the main room where there's all the
the
screens
cameras,
for
yeah.
all the cameras for what's happening in the neighborhood, which now they're able to call the police and have things stop.
Shout out to Gray in this
But
episode.
Gray she just becomes, again, she also becomes Big Brother, and she starts bullying people and she starts abusing her power. And her brother becoming the chicken man, or forgot his name, he's now the superhero. And they're gonna have that epic showdown that, superheroes and supervillains have.
So I love that she was the villain and her brother. So. And I don't think they knew, or she didn't know that Junior was Junior.
That he was the chicken man.
That he was the chicken man.
Forgot the name, guys, but
chicken boy,
chicken boy, whatever. Chicken man. And so they actually fight until I guess the room is completely destroyed. And Bev is just like, we can't let you do anything 5 minutes. So yeah, it was very interesting, but she literally goes crazy. Like, she blackmails people. I'm talking about Gray. She just goes, she loses it a little bit.
So and then like they go into this theme that ends the season of Junior and his self-identity. He starts, we hadn't really seen him interact with girls yet, and he ends up painting for this family of some known gangster, and he likes the sister. And the sister doesn't really date guys like Junior.
Because she can't date outside of the gang. Oh, she can't. That's an actual gang.
She can't date outside the gang.
I feel like she doesn't date outside the gang.
Or I don't know. Was that a rule, or is
I believe that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that she doesn't date outside of this, like, this lifestyle.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's why. Because she was like, I can't date, like, you're too, like. So anyway, so she couldn't date Junior because he's Junior, and so he's like, oh, bet I'm gonna join the gang. Oh, God.
He gets initiated.
So they jump him into the gang.
Beat him.
Which is how you join a gang still.
Of course, she takes care of him, and she's like, oh my God. And like,
I can't believe she did that. That's crazy.
Oh my God. And she kisses him as he's completely bloody.
Ugh.
And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, this is the exact thing I thought about. I was like, ew.
I was like, okay, it's just a cartoon. Ew. But also, why do I have Reg gets promoted unfairly? Who's Reg? Reggie is the dad, but like...
Okay, so yeah, so as all of this is happening, so
and Junior is the girl with no memory, by the way.
So Junior is joining a gang for love, as the daughter is going through, I don't remember what, the daughter is spiraling into, like, controlling people. The mom is spiraling into, I'm such an important person now, like I'm doing this for the community. Nobody's paying attention to Junior. Nobody's paying like, the dad's not paying attention to anything because everybody has their own things. And the dad, needing a job, decides to go and become a cop because he has no other choice at this point, and he needs to pay.
Right, he got promoted as a cop.
He needs a check, and it's really funny because at some point is they did that. So his partner is white. They did that whole moment where there's a car full of white kids that are smoking weed, and they did that whole thing where he's like, we should arrest them or we should do something, and the partner is like, no, like, didn't you read the handbook? Like, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But when he saw Junior,
that was insane, bro.
Yeah, that was insane. But then he saw Junior and his friends and his colleagues was like, yo, we need to go. And he realized it was Junior and he had to hide so Junior couldn't understand that it was him.
He had to
it's like, back. You're literally, everything that your people don't like, you're the police now.
You're not. So both of them, it's interesting because both of the parents have become what they didn't like.
Exactly. And it's just like, so nobody's paying it.
They were paying attention. Like, it wasn't that bad, guys. Like,
and so pretty much nobody's paying attention. So obviously the baby sees everything because he knows everything.
Oh, they be coming to tell Dalvin everything.
And Dalvin is like, so Junior's in the game. Mom is doing crazy things.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that is like, literally, there's this whole moment where everybody is just hiding things from each other and nobody notices that Junior is in a gang and things are about to go crazy.
So now Junior is in the gang and he's adapted to the lifestyle in the sense like he's now buff. He looks different than the Junior that we knew, the little skinny kid that we knew. Got buff real quick, but it's a cartoon again.
He got buff in like 1 minute.
And then Junior robs his brother. Not nice. Don't rob Dalvin.
Yeah,
because he's the only one that's been helping people, and now you made an enemy out of your brother.
And I feel like you don't want Dalvin as an enemy. He seems like you,
even if it's your brother. He said it like, just listen.
He was like, hey.
And okay, so basically, he starts like getting more into the gang activity.
Too much.
And well, yes, a lot more. And he's, I guess, lost his little V card, so now he's just feeling himself, child. And the guys in the gang, they're about to go shoot somebody. I'm sorry. This scene reminded me so much of Boys in the Hood. I think it was a play on the Boys in the Hood scene
Probably.
where Trey is going with Doughboy and them to go shoot Ricky's killer, and he's like, "Let me out the car. Let me out the car." And basically, that's what is Junior's girlfriend? I don't know the girl's name, but the girl and Junior, they're in the car, and she's trying to tell him like, "No, like you don't have to do this," because she knows that
That's not the first
really
thing
him.
that, and also she also knows that technically you don't. At some point, she makes a comment. She's like, "You're not supposed to start with these things. You're supposed to start with like misdemeanors." She says
You
this.
don't
She's
just
like,
go kill
"You
somebody,
start
yeah.
with misdemeanors."
Kill somebody. Sorry, I gotta watch myself.
But yeah, and then well, and then people were like, Junior gets so like, into the lifestyle that he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take the spot of the big brother of the sister." He's like, "I'm gonna be the boss."
But he's like,
Basically,
people are
I'm
finally
gonna,
respecting me.
yeah.
So he
like,
felt like, yo, like
he's like, "I'm gonna take his spot, and that's it." Because you're not. You
yeah,
good?
yeah, I'm good.
You should.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then pretty much there, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take your spot." And as he's coming out of the car to try and go, off somebody, the brother and the people in the car, they're like, "Yeah, no, we can't let this guy basically like he's going crazy. Like
Yeah.
we need to
He
off
was
him.
he was going off. Yeah.
We need to off him." So it's like this weird scene where at the same time, the mom, it's the moment where we're about to reveal everything that's been happening in terms of the building. And the backstory of that is pretty much this company has been renovating projects and other, poor neighborhoods.
And gentrifying.
And they tell the people, "Don't worry, we're gonna put you in a night. We're gonna put you in a spot, and then you'll be able to come back once we renovate the whole thing. There's gonna be a gym. There's gonna be everything." But the reality is, the rent is now so expensive that the people cannot come back. And so Bev is like, "No, they're not gonna do this to me. They're gonna call it Bev, whatever." And somebody from another neighborhood is like, "Yeah, that's what they did to us. Like they promised things." So pretty much, we're about to be at the big reveal. Gray knows, and her and Dalvin have some kind of video that they need to show.
Everybody's at that protest,
that event, that reveal thing.
Not that protest. What do you call it when a politician speaks? What is it called, child? Y'all know what I'm talking about. They're addressing something, and then the cops are there, and
so
Reggie's there. They see Junior walking by with a bunch of gangsters, and they're like, "Is that Junior? Like what?"
And then the mom was like, "Junior's in a gang?" And like, yeah.
Like you haven't been momming much, but
so yeah, it's
and that's kind of, it ends on a good point to open it for a season 2. I don't think it's gonna get renewed for a season 2.
It wasn't good enough, I think.
And I don't think
no shade, but like it wasn't.
I like the ambition that they took in the themes. Like they went for things, even though yes, they went for some easy jokes, for some stereotypes. They also took some risks. They said some political things, and they weren't just for shock value. They were funny sometimes. And I liked the rats robbing people, the rats eating people. I thought that was hilarious. I thought there were things, the baby just being the head honcho.
I mean,
like Dalvin is that guy. I was like, come on now.
For me, it's also mostly the moment. Well, not that. It's just like seeing how basically fake promises of like notoriety and like we're gonna put your name on something, how that can quickly turn someone, and that can quickly make you not see what they're actually trying to do, and like turn into exactly what you don't want to be in the first place, what you were trying to fight against.
They blind you. They put on those rose-colored glasses on you.
And that also goes to show that if you're struggling that much and you're trying to make ends meet and you're trying to do all of this and trying to change the neighborhood so it's a better neighborhood and trying to do a bunch of things, right? Because even that gentrification actually caused problems to Delvin's business.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a whole thing. When you're trying to do all of this, obviously they didn't see that their kids were kind of like being affected and going crazy.
But it also shows that like how
they don't have time to see.
But that's what it also points out, the fact that a lot of parents, as their kids get older, turn away from what they're doing. Whereas like in your teenage years is where you need actually a lot of parental support and you need that guidance. But both of the kids kind of got lost in their own. I mean, Dalvin, obviously he's a baby. Delvin would have been
lost
at home. He would have been at home, and they would have actually had to have a babysitter there. But because they set it up as this man is an adult, that's how it gets there. But it's like, it's interesting to see like, yo, like, yeah, like pay attention to what's going on in your home. Like,
Yeah.
stay true to your core values. It's like there was good little
Even
lessons while
like
being, you know.
the father son relationship, because Delvin and his dad actually don't, like you said, don't get along. And there's even a moment of one of the episodes where they focus on their relationship,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this," and Delvin is so happy. He's like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god, my
you can
dad
see that he
sees me."
wanted that. It was
And
cute.
the dad never shows up again because Delvin pretty much fixed the dad's car real quick. And the dad never showed up, so he was like,
No.
"Oh, really?" So he took the whole taxi apart again. It was like, "Hey, no," it was like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." But
Calvin is funny.
it was just a thing also where it's like pay attention to like your relationship with your children. I just think, listen, it ended up on people got shot. Nobody died, but
I'm gonna shock. I'm gonna shock him with my real
it,
villain.
it just yeah, it just did not. I don't know. It didn't hit the spot for me. I love cartoons and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
same.
Usually
Yeah.
like,
It
but this
wasn't the
one
funniest.
wasn't. It
Like
wasn't. It was
I
I.
see what they tried to do was a mix of Baby's Kids, a mix of Boondocks. I see what they were aiming
But I
for,
feel like in
but
2024 that was a. It was. They didn't adjust to the cursor of 2024
yeah,
enough for me.
that's what happened. Like, even though they, again, it was watchable. It wasn't
Hmm.
like it wasn't. I'm not saying it's a -1. Ew, I couldn't stomach it. No, like there was stuff that, like I just said, I found some stuff funny. I like some of the themes they addressed, but it wasn't like Emmy said, it wasn't good enough for a second
Yeah.
season. It didn't grab people enough, and to be attached to a legendary name like Good Times and do something that is not up to par. I just want us to leave some shit alone. Like, we just don't have to remake everything.
But I feel like they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to fund new projects because they're afraid it's not gonna work.
Have to be associated with the Good Times. Like, it's like
I
y'all
know.
just used a premise basically.
They literally could have called it
It was
anything.
literally like they're descendants from the original cast. So they're like, oh, my cousin. They mentioned it something like my cousin or my uncle or whatever, and literally nothing else is, except other than them being poor, is
Yeah.
similar.
Yeah. But
So
anyway, so
I was
yeah,
like, oh.
it was.
So do you want to go? Do you have a real villain?
Okay, so the villain of the show, I guess, I don't know what I would call it, but like the real estate development project that decided to take over the neighborhood.
Okay, Allison Whiteman. I'll just call her.
Yeah, her and the whole company that she
Yeah.
represents. So it's the villain of the show. The real villain for me, however, it really, let me see. Two. The real villain for me is the mom.
That's who my real villain
For me
is.
is the mom just because
It's Bev.
she
It's
really
Beverly.
went in with good intentions, and I'm like, how did you not see when they lied? Nobody then
I just
then goes
didn't
with
like that she was
nobody
so
then
weak.
goes something so shiny in front of you,
Yeah, and then
and then you just really think like they're gonna give you a brand new neighborhood for free?
nah.
That's a
So yeah, so she's the real villain. That was the same.
she led the people astray.
My villain of the show was actually it was Allison Whiteman, and it was also slightly Delvin, because they thought he was a bad guy, but I'm like, actually he's a hero. But like, real villain is, yeah, Beverly the mom. Now that really, like, we gave y'all a lot more than we should have on Good Times. So
Let us know what
that
you
that
think.
that's let us know what y'all thought. Are we crazy? Like, was nothing funny in the show? Are we dumb?
Did you love it?
Or did you absolutely hate it? Or are you like offended that they even made a show called Good Times Animated? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe, like, share, and we will see you guys next time.